Hello, everyone. Dr. Ames here. What I'd like to talk about this time is some basic definitions related to organizing. The first one is economies of scale. And like you can see here, and which is the standard response, is the average cost of goods decreases as production levels rise. In other words, the more you make, the cheaper it becomes. Well, you get that in every course where you have the occasion to talk about an economy of scale or how you get things done efficiently. But what you really need to know is how do you get to that situation where you can increase production so that you're able to decrease the price. So what's important to remember here is that you create an economy of scale by purchasing your raw materials in bulk. So those physical resources coming in the door, the more you buy, the better deal you can get generally in business. It just depends on the resource or the commodity. And it certainly also applies saying you are buying a component that is a partially constructed item that will go into the larger construction of something bigger, a small part, in other words, for something else. The more you buy, generally, the better terms you can get. And so there is a reduction in costs there. That's how you establish the ability to rise your production level to levels that will cause the costs to go down for you. So that's what the economy of scale is really describing. It's that situation that you've purchased your raw materials in bulk and you've been able to lower your production costs. Therefore, what happens that every individual item, the more you make, the cheaper it becomes individually when you divide it out. The next definition here is about hierarchy, and this is simply talking about, this is a system that we use to show how things are connected by authority and position. So you have a system in which you can draw a chart generally and so forth, and it ranks the influence and authority and departments from top to bottom in any given company. Chain of command, this talks about the line of authority specifically, how that one person reports to another, and how you ought to be able to trace the reporting relationship of any person in a company upwards until you reach the very top. And it should be easy to do that using your organizational chart, which we see here. An organizational chart is simply a graphic that you create. It's got boxes and lines connecting them in a hierarchical order. So you can see which one reports to which one, and you can write in the names of people and their job titles and so forth. So it's a visual device. Let me show you one right here. And so here's a hierarchical chart that shows just some very basic relationships. Here's our top manager, the president, manager A of production, B of marketing, C of finance. So what seems to be missing when I look at this is there aren't any VPs. So we do have some top management here, but no vice presidents. These to me have to be middle managers. And the reason is that these first line managers are reporting to these people. First line managers, remember, do not report to VPs, they report to middle managers. So this is what we would call a somewhat smaller company where you have a president or owner even, and he's got his plant manager and his marketing manager and his finance manager. And you can see the way this is set up, three managers, first line managers report to each one of those in each of those departments. And you can see down here are the operational employees. And then finally, the last definition I'd like to talk about is bureaucracy. And this also is just a way to organize your company. It's characterized by many layers of managers, lots of rules and regulations that are designed to have employees comply and maintain the status quo. And we see a lot of reliance on authority and a real distinction made between those who are in charge and those who are doing the work. Okay, folks, that's all I want to talk about right now. I'll talk to you again soon.